Somewhere in Tanzania right now, a Hadza hunter is sitting in the shade with his friends. He has no job to go to, no rent due, no inbox, no algorithm telling him he's behind, and researchers who have lived with groups like his consistently report the same thing. These people almost never show signs of clinical depression. That is not a coincidence. For 300,000 years, your brain evolved inside a specific kind of life. A life with movement, sunlight, physical work, genuine rest, face-to-face connection, and a clear sense of purpose inside a small group of people who needed you. Depression, as we know it today, was essentially unknown in that world. Not because life was easier. It wasn't. People buried children, lost hunts, faced starvation, but the brain was running in the environment it was built for. Then we changed the environment, and we never told the brain. In 2012, researcher Stephen Ilardi at the University of Kansas published findings from a program called Therapeutic Lifestyle Change. He had spent years studying what he called the depression epidemic and noticed something that mainstream psychiatry kept ignoring: the 6 things that most reliably protect against depression: regular physical movement, omega-3 fatty acids, sunlight exposure, social engagement, meaningful work, and adequate sleep, were not new discoveries. They were a description of how every human lived for 300,000 years. Your ancestors didn't do these things for their mental health. They did them because they had no other option. Movement wasn't exercise. It was survival. Sunlight wasn't therapy. It was just outside. Social connection wasn't a wellness practice. It was how you stayed alive. The small group was your entire world. Everyone knew your name. Everyone needed something from you. You mattered in a way that required no proof. Modern life quietly removed every single one of these things. Not all at once, slowly, over generations. First, we built cities and stopped moving. Then we built offices and stopped going outside. Then we built screens and stopped talking to each other in person. Then we built algorithms that replaced the small group with an audience of strangers who don't know you exist. Your brain is running a 300,000-year-old operating system inside a world that was built in the last 200 years, and it is struggling. In 2019, the World Health Organization named depression the leading cause of disability worldwide. More than 280 million people are currently affected. The rates keep rising. Every decade, more people. Every generation, younger. And the most common response is a pill that adjusts brain chemistry without changing a single thing about the life the brain is living inside. The pill sometimes helps, but it doesn't answer the question. The question is why the brain broke in the first place. Anthropologist Edward Schiefelin spent years with the Kaluli people of Papua New Guinea in the 1970s and 1980s. In a community of several hundred people, he documented a total of 1 case of depression during his entire study period. 1. In communities where people move constantly, sleep when it gets dark, eat food they found themselves, and spend every day surrounded by people who depend on them. This is not paradise. The Kaluli faced disease, loss, violence, and grief. What they didn't face was the specific modern combination that breaks the human brain. Isolation disguised as connection. Stillness disguised as productivity. Meaning replaced by metrics. Purpose replaced by content. Your brain was not built for a life where you sit alone in a room, staring at a screen that shows you everything you don't have, surrounded by strangers, doing work that feels like it disappears into nothing, never certain whether any of it matters. It was built for a fire, and 20 people who knew your name, and a task that ended when the sun went down. We didn't get depressed because something went wrong with us. We got depressed because we built a world that was wrong for us, and then we wondered why we couldn't feel at home in it. The environment changed, the brain didn't. And somewhere in Tanzania, the Hadza hunter is still sitting in the shade. Still fine.